And you're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
The punchline.
And we are going to have shit to talk about today.
We have a couple things to talk about. I'm just trying to put the show on my phone. I'm always last to do it.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. Yeah, Young Yoda. Hello, we on? He will never be champ again.
Oh, okay.
And Paul Malonas. Hello from Chicago. Great to see you guys. Patting myself on the back for calling the Fury win. I knew he'd stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Fury was too big for those skinny Deontay legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, me and Justin were just talking about that on the fight, though, with people on their picks.
Yeah.
Here's my take on it. Like, here's why I didn't pick.
I know.
For this simple reason of just say last night, which even to the 7th round, I was still kind of like going, oh, shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
Fury beating the fuck out of him. And if Wilder would have landed that fucking shot and knocked Fury out, everybody that picked Wilder, everybody would be like, oh, yeah, see what I'm saying? I'm fucking smart. No. You know, it could happen. Like a fight that is, I know that stands a good chance to go in the distance, or maybe somebody getting knocked out, but it's not like that big of an opportunity.
Yeah.
Then those are the fights I like to bet. But a fight like this was just too hard to tell what was going to happen. And I guarantee you, right now, ain't many people thought Fury was going to really do that.
No, they didn't. But you know, I my inbox got hit last night all over the page. You're like, yeah, I told you, James. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, because I got a fight. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That I was wrong. I was like, I'm wrong. I get a fight wrong every once in a while. That's part of what we do, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm not a bookie. I'm not a sports bookie. I'm not an agent. I'm a fan just like everybody else. For me, I had pretty sound reasoning for Wilder beating Fury. I thought Wilder had the equalizer. I don't think Fury looked that great in the fight, last fight. But I'll tell you what, though. Here on that first 30 seconds of the first round, when Wilder landed that solid right, and Fury went nowhere, I was like, oh shit. We're in for a long night.
He took a lot of those nights. I mean, some of those landed right on the back of that air again.
Yeah.
And he didn't buzz. I mean, he didn't fade on that. But I just thought that something was going to come. But you know what? Very smart fight that Fury fought. He went in there, that 273. Yeah. A lot of people were concerned about that, and I didn't know what to say about it. And he went in there. He used that big body, and he laid it on Wilder. He suffocated him. His strategy and game plan going into that fight was perfect.
It was smart. I made a post about when you put that kind of weight on, your lateral movement suffers and your ankles. And he didn't have lateral movement because he didn't need it. He came right to him and fought him. I did hear something though that they're looking at fining him for the licking the blood off of Wilder.
I think you could say that was by accident.
It was not. He kept doing it with his. He kept doing that with his tongue.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That'd be something when they come back after the fight and be like, yeah, well, unfortunately, Wilder filled his HIV, right?
But you remember when Fernando Vargas spit on Ross Thompson?
Yeah.
They charged
and they shouldn't have.
They fined him $50,000.
Yeah, they shouldn't have.
And Fernando said it was the best $50,000 he ever spent.
Yep.
Spitting on Ross Thompson.
Steve
but
Z
I think it should be the same thing.
Great heavyweight fight last night. Paul Malone's Wilder didn't seem to have anything on his punches because Tyson Fury took him out of early on in that fight. Fury was throwing his big body on him, suffocating him, leaning on him. I mean, from the early rounds, and I think that might have been why he put that weight on because he fought like that type guy, like a big guy.
Well, you called it, Kelly. I mean, I know you didn't say it on the show, but we talked about it off the show. You thought Wilder was gonna win the fight. I mean, not Wilder, Fury. You thought Fury was gonna win the fight. You were not sure, but you were kind of leaning with Fury for the same reasons most everybody was. But see, the problem with if I make a pick, it's not a big deal. If you make a pick, you're a fucking asshole for a month, right?
Yeah. But that was, again, going on that. I mean, people are going to get mad. If there's another fight like that, if they fought again, I'm not going to pick because it's just one of them type fights where anything can happen. It's too iffy of a fight for me to pick. Really. Everything all right?
Julian said, fine for licking. Yeah, when Wilder was in the corner, Fury started licking the blood off his fucking neck. Julian says, you had a good point, James, but I thought Fury would lean on him and tire him, then get him win lopsided, did that Kronk thing. The funny thing is, I trained at Kronk Gym when I was young, and I don't remember any Kronk lean thing. There was something they brought up last night. Now there's this big Kronk lean. You know what I mean?
What do you mean,
leaning
Kronk?
on, like they were leaning on people and putting their weight
Oh
on them.
yeah.
I don't remember that ever being a
Come
part
on,
of
man.
Kronk's.
That's been around too, though.
I don't remember that being part of Kronk's stable. And this was '94, and I was training there, getting some
Yeah.
sparring in. And I'm hearing like, oh, it's a Kronk gym thing. No, I never heard of them doing it. But now somebody brought it up last night at the fight. Everybody's saying that's a Kronk thing. They've been doing that shit since the 1930s.
Yeah. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Like, no, man. That's a strategy that happens, especially in the heavyweight. If you're that big and you're that much bigger than Deontay Wilder,
Yeah.
that's going to happen. And that was a great strategy that he used.
Yeah. Isaac Nagalone says, I seen a post on Facebook that Wilder has lost his hearing now. I don't believe anything. Facebook, I don't think he's lost his hearing. I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. But you know what? You got to remember, after big fights like this, do you know how many Facebook MDs I've seen? All these doctors that talked about his equilibrium being gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's a Facebook doctor today. Unemployed doctors.
Well, here's the big thing on that. When you have a broken eardrum, it does mess with your equilibrium. Yeah, it does. I mean, that's a fact. That's like usually I think have like when you lose your balance and everything, they'll send you to like the ear nose doctor, and then if you don't know, they'll send you to the neurologist. Yeah. But that is a big factor that comes into play.
Oh, you throw up, you're bad, man. You're vertigo, everything. But
Steve Z says, "What did you guys think of Bayless? Usually a solid ref, but looked like the fight was too big for him. It was. He should have stopped it earlier."
I wouldn't have argued if he stopped it earlier, especially around that fourth round. Fifth round, I wouldn't have argued.
Those too big of boys to be sitting there letting a guy. Wilder was beat to hell. I understand that he still had a puncher's chance, but at what point before something really bad happens?
It wasn't good, but I give Wilder all the credit in the world. He did come out like he could have quit anytime he wanted or took a knee. He could have, and you could see how exhausted Wilder was. Did you see it?
Well, he was done.
Exhausted, and he just kept fighting. And I was like, you know what? And I've been the hardest critic on Wilder. I've never been a Wilder fan. We've all, what I mean? But I honestly thought Wilder would beat Fury.
Yeah.
And just on skills, it wasn't nothing personally. None of my picks are personal. Yep. I just thought that right hand's a big equalizer.
It was, but and again, tip my hat to Fury. Goodfellow says, "Can Wilder learn anything new, or is it too late?" It's too late.
He's 34 years old. And been doing the same shit for 15 years.
You're not going to show him anything that he's going to be able to take care of yet. Because as soon as he gets into a dogfight, all the old habits are going to come back, and that's all you can say.
If he was going to learn something new, he would have learned it with Mark Breland 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
When Mark Breland tried to, he hasn't fixed it then, and it's nothing on him. I've said it before. Wilder's an average boxer, is a great athlete. He's a great athlete and average boxer. Yeah. Fury is not a great athlete, but he's a great boxer, and you have to take.
Young Yoda here. He goes. Where was it at? He got hit in the air. He goes, "There's a key now. Other fighters will use it." No, Young Yoda, I don't think so. I don't think there's many other young fighters that are 6'9", 275 pounds.
That can box like that.
That can box like that or are going to use that. I mean, you're taking a chance going in on Wilder. Wilder got a phenomenal chin. He could box. He could hit. Well, he can't box, but he could hit. It's not going to be that easy to still beat Wilder just because of this fight. You're taking the credit away from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a legitimately great heavyweight. He is. Yeah. He could go down. Honestly, I could rank right now, and you guys could say I'm crazy. I could there's a strong argument to put Tyson Fury in the top with all the all-time greats.
You can put him in there.
Why couldn't you? 6'9", boxes the way he does.
He could. I think. Somebody had him in the top, I think, 1 or 2 in British fighters. I said, no, I think Lennox Lewis is number 1 in British fighters history. Yeah. Lennox Lewis, I think Lennox Lewis is a better fighter than Tyson Fury. Lennox Lewis's resume is so much deeper.
But I think if they fought each other,
I think Lennox would have got him. Lennox was a good boxer, though.
Because Lennox didn't really fight, other than Klitschko's at the time.
He cleaned the division out, though.
But what I'm saying, boxers today is so deep.
Yeah.
And I know I keep bringing this up. You're talking about you get done fighting Wilder, 6'7". You got Tyson Fury, 6'9". You got Joshua, 6'6". It's deep with them tall guys like that. I think that when you have a 6'9" fighter, which Lennox Lewis really didn't face anybody.
Michael Grant, Jorge Luis Gonzalez.
Michael Grant was 6'3", 6'4".
Michael Grant was 6'5".
Well, 6'5". But okay, so 6'5" and 6'9" is still a big difference.
Jorge Luis Gonzalez 6'7".
6'5" is the same height as Lennox Lewis.
We can't. But I don't want to hold back history against him. Lennox Lewis cleaned divisions out. He cleaned David.
I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think Lennox Lewis was an all-time
Holyfield twice.
great. But again, you're talking 6'2", 5'10" fighters. They were great for that time. Yeah. But it's just a different era. I mean, these guys are big. They're 6'9", 6'7".
I think
it makes a big difference.
I think Lennox Lewis was 6'5", 6'6". I think he was formidable for anybody. Just the way he was a great boxer and good puncher.
I agree, because he was one of the few of that era because of his height, and and he could box like that. It wasn't as bad. But think about it. Even a Tyson. I'm sorry. I don't think Tyson does anything to a Wilder or a Tyson Fury.
Really?
I know people are gonna think I'm crazy. What could he's 5'10"?
Tight in his prime, he would have ripped that body to shreds. He would have destroyed that body.
I don't, because that's what I know.
Speed, but they've never dealt with that kind of speed and power.
But we say that because these guys are fighting with speed. It's like going back to the slam dunk competition this year.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins dunks. Nobody would have cared after seeing the dunks.
Tyson wasn't that far back, though.
You know what I mean? You had a dude jump over a 7-foot tall guy, grab a ball off his head. It changes, man. It's true.
I think Tyson could have done well in any era. I do.
I'm not saying that it was that. I don't know if Mike Tyson would have won. I'm not saying that these guys would have beat Mike Tyson. I'm saying it's a different era, though.
I agree, but I have
a 6'9", not a big bald-headed bull like that one guy that was 7 foot. I'm talking about a slick 6'9" boxer who is awkward and can move and weighs 270 pounds. That's a lot different fighting him than fighting Evander Holyfield, who's 6'2" and stays in the pocket.
Okay, but then you're looking at Fury, who is just maybe one of that size, or two or three of that size. But let's go to technically. That field in the 90s and early 2000s and mid-2000s were much better technically fighters. They were better fighters.
Absolutely.
David Tua could have put a heavyweight championship on him nowadays. Guys like that could have won. Riddick Bowe would have cleared divisions out in this time period.
Riddick Bowe is another one that definitely in this era, absolutely. Tall, 6'4.5", maybe 6'5".
I think guys like that were. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because you know how I am against classic fighters and how overrated I think a lot of them are.
But even Joshua could fight. He's a big guy.
Joshua's fantastic. I don't know. I just think technical wise and actual boxing skills, I think the 90s and 2000s were much better than the heavyweight division now. Size and strength. And
competition, absolutely.
Size and strength, I'd give it to these guys.
Yeah, the size and strength, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And competition in that era, it was deep. I mean, you had so many great fighters. I definitely think that generation of heavyweights, there was a lot more talented, naturally skilled fighters. But now we're talking just different levels of size that makes because these ain't big 6'9", 6'7" sloppy guys. I mean, Fury could fight. Wilder could hit like a mule and is actually pretty quick and awkward. I mean, it's just different, I think.
I agree. Rocco Gino Wadala says, Fury looked like he put the extra weight on the right place. I think Fury simple box instead. I don't know if you could say that because you can't target fat gain. You can't target fat loss. It just goes on. No one can.
Straight to Fury's lower back.
Yep. That's what they said. Like they said, I heard people say, I see he put muscle on and you can't put, muscle doesn't go on like that. It just goes on according to DNA and genetics. But they said, did you hear that? Did you hear that? They said he put 40 pounds of muscle. Not in 4 months. He didn't.
Fight posters that they airbrushed and gave him abs.
Yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker, you know that.
Hey, they did the same thing with Andy Ruiz. They give him abs too. Like, come on, man.
I know. I seen that one.
Did you?
Yeah. Remember before the fight, everybody, like 2 months or a month and a half before that rematch, they had him looking like we had the abs and he was shredded, and everybody really believed it.
I was like,
holy fuck. And
I was like, don't you be putting that Jussie Smollett lie on us. Everything's a Jussie Smollett lie now. Motherfucker with a Jussie Smollett
Isaac
lies.
Ramirez says, I don't think we need a third fight. I agree.
I don't think so.
I agree with you.
Caitlin says, hey, friends.
What's up? When Loma struggled with Camel, Teddy Atlas said he's looking old at 31.
Teddy Atlas, he flip-flops more than old pancake, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He ran Fury down. He ran Fury down, and all of a sudden he switched over and said, "Well, I noticed, and then he ran Wilder down, and then he was talking Wilder up, and he's like, "Well, I saw all the bad parts of Wilder." I'm like, "Make up your fucking mind. You went from an hour talking Wilder up to running him down."
Mm-hmm.
I hate I can't stand dudes like this. And you know what? I know these people love. You can cover your ears because you have nothing to do with this, Kelly. Earmuffs, Kelly, earmuffs. Okay. People love Teddy Atlas. They love him. They think he's the greatest guy in the world. I'm not taking advice from a guy with 2 fucking amateur fights. And he's 1-1.
There's nothing wrong with
he's 1-1. He's 1-1. He has 2 amateur fights. He may be a great motivator. He may be a great speaker, but he doesn't know about boxing. Yes, he understands he understands the nuances of boxing. He knows how to throw a jab, but he doesn't know when his fighter's hurt. And that he doesn't know when his fighter's hurt. He doesn't know what his fighter's going through. And that's one thing.
He thinks that certain X's and O's and certain punches at this time is what you need to throw because it looks easy. When in doubt, you're in there and you're boxing and you're saying, that's not fucking easy to throw. That's not, I can't, every time I go to do that with this hand, I'm getting caught. He don't, but.
Kelly, you've worked corners before. You've worked corners, you work fights, right? We both have. You can, and you've been in fights, Justin, MMA fights. When your trainer's competed, right? Your trainer can look at you and tell if you're fucking hurt without you saying anything. He can look right in your eyes. He can look at your body. He can look at your knees, your shoulders. When they're slumped forward, he goes, "You know what? My guy's fucking hurt." That is the only kind of knowledge that you get from fighting. You can't pick that up from a book. You can't pick that up from YouTube. And you can't pick it up from talking to Burt Sugar. You can't pick it up from reading books from 1922. That is that's intrinsic shit that you pick up actually being in the ring yourself. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can cuss me out all day, but I'm telling you what. I'm not saying he's a bad trainer. I'm just saying
he's not. He's a motivational speaker in the corner.
He almost got Vostok killed.
Even this goes to show you that this is where he's at. Even before the fights, when he does the breakdown, he shows if a guy throws this is going to be the key to victory. You slip it and you come up.
He's a color analyst.
Well, listen, it don't work that way, and that's why you never train a fighter to work on certain things like that or certain steps under. A fighter's got to pick that up and learn that over a period of time himself. And once he does that, once he gets that ring time where everything starts slowing down, then you can work on that shit with a guy.
Yeah.
But Teddy Atlas, I mean, it's I do agree. I think he's great.
When Biederoff beat up Vostok, at what point did he not see that something needed to be changed? At what point did he say, "Hey, you know what? My guy's getting killed in here. I need to adjust something. He's hurt," and he let it go, and he let it go, and he let it go. But only a guy that's been in there and actually experienced that can tell you what's going on. They can feel it. You can feel when your fighter's hurt. Let me ask you this: when Robert Garcia fought, right? Your trainer, right, Robert? And when when he saw you took a shot and you came back to the corner, Robert knew what you were going through. Robert looked at you and said, "Hey, Kelly."
And he told you realistic advice out there for the next time by knowing that.
Not that this guy's going to do this, bang. This guy's going to bang. He don't know.
No, he's giving you, but he's telling you to move away the opposite way and do certain things where he knows it's going to be harder for that person to land a punch. Not that he ain't going to land it. It's going to be harder for him, though, and it gives me more time to do something. Those are the things that a trainer and an ex-fighter that knows, those are the things he could pick up because he's been in that situation before.
And see, that's what's going to make you that makes you an asset as a trainer now. You understand those things. You know when your bell's been rung. You know when your fighter's bell's been rung.
Yep.
You're not going to say you're a fireman. You put out fires. No one gives a fuck about that. I want to know how not to get my bell rung again.
Yeah, right. JD goes, when Loma struggled with Campbell, Teddy Atlas said he's looking old at 31. Wilder is 34. That's retirement age. Surprised nobody mentioned
Everybody ages different.
Yeah, well, first of all, the heavyweights is different, too. For a longer period of time, for years now, heavyweights have stayed in boxing longer and older because it's usually slower weight class as it is. Power is a big part of the heavyweight division. Power is the last thing to go. So, guys, the age in heavyweights goes a little higher though than a lower weight class.
Because you fight less, you have less tread on tires.
Well, and you're also you don't have 150-pound guys that are super athletic.
You're not throwing 1,000 punches a fight.
Yeah, where when you lose speed and reaction time at that point, you're in the heavyweights where there's big sloppy guys, and even the bigger guys that are not sloppy, they're still slower than usual and gives your body time to react.
There's a good one here. Yama says, "Don't you guys think Wilder's team don't challenge him to improve, and they most likely follow his direct?" No, I don't. Mark Breland's an outstanding trainer. Mark Breland is a former Olympian. There's only so much a trainer can do with a fighter. It's not A to B. It's not like that. It's not a straight line. That fighter has to be wanting to listen and do things. But Wilder's gotten himself in habits that he's been doing for 15, 20 years that just ain't coming off.
Also, Wilder got into the sport late.
He's 20 years old. 20.
Yeah, I mean, he got into it late. Your body's already kind of formed to certain styles and the way it moves and everything else at that age, and that's true too. So I don't know how you work with him on that. I mean, it comes down to how much time did a trainer put with him on his fundamentals and in the basic parts of boxing. We don't know, and how long. You got to have patience. It's hard to take a 20-year-old and get him to fight like a boxer that you want. I mean, because his body and the way he moves is already has formed.
Yep.
You
And
know?
not every guy that comes into the sport late like that is Sergio Martinez. Sergio came in at 20 years old himself. Not everybody is like that.
But he was a more
athletic
for boxing.
But like, and that's what I said. He kind of fit that. But Wilder, like I said, is a great athlete who's an average boxer. Sergio was a great boxer who's a great athlete, which is really rare.
Here we go. Here again. Good fellas. I'm with James Kelly. Mike Tyson would have killed Wilder.
I didn't say kill.
I don't think he would have killed Wilder, and I'm not saying that Wilder would have beat Tyson. I think Tyson would have struggled with these guys though because of the height. My God, you're talking 5 foot. Let's put it this way.
That's my height.
Mike Tyson struggled with lost to Evander Holyfield, got knocked out by Lennox Lewis. Guys that were bigger, a little taller. I mean, and Holyfield was 6'2", Lewis was 6'5". Granted, Mike Tyson when he first came into the boxing, yeah, he was a monster, but who was he beating at that time too? We have to be honest about that. I understand that he was towards the end after all the shit happened when he lost those fights, and that wasn't the same Mike Tyson when he came in. But also he got knocked out, and I understand he was out partying in Japan when he got knocked out by 6'4" Buster Douglas. Yeah. So all I'm saying is you got a guy who could rank up there of all time with power punches and is 6'7" and fights with long arms. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be easy in a cakewalk for Mike Tyson to get inside on Wilder and knock him out and kill him. And if you think that, then I don't know how much boxing people really watch. Sorry.
I hate to tell you, Kelly, but you're gonna get fucked up by Mike Tyson, and I'm gonna get fucked up by fucking Teddy Atlas. We're gonna get fucked up.
I didn't say Mike Tyson wouldn't beat Wilder.
He's fucking you up, and I'm getting fucked up by Teddy Atlas.
I didn't say that. Mike, you know what? I'm a big boy now.
I'll cut Teddy Atlas's other eye off. Don't spit shit out, I swear. I'll cut that motherfucker's eye out. No, you ain't got no gun now, bitch. No, I'm just joking, guys. But no, there's some great questions and stuff like that. I'm sorry, guys. We're off on a tangent tonight because ourselves. Hey, we'll get on Navarrete in a minute because that motherfucker's a oh my God.
He is.
Kelly's watching. Drico, my college homie's watching. Lewis is listed as that, but he looks head to head. I don't know, Julian. I think he's about 6'5".
He's 6'5". He might not even be. I'll be honest with you. I would say Lennox Lewis is on the shorter end. Now here's a guy that I've done interviews with over and over.
Lewis, yeah.
Lewis is 6'5" at most.
Well, I'll tell you this: when they do fighters' height, they don't lie to make them shorter. They lie to make them taller. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They don't. They're not going to say he's 6'5".
They have me.
How
many times they have me at 6'3" when I'm actually like that much under 6'2"?
Dude, you're 6'3.5" in some places.
Yeah.
And you have an 82 inch reach.
Fuck yeah, dude. I wish.
What were you, 78?
Where the hell was that at? Go Gadget Arm.
What were you, 78, right?
I don't know, man. There were so many.
75.
It's like that Ron White joke, like, how tall are you? 6'2", depending on what convenience store I'm leaving.
That's what I do with my height. Stephen Casper says, okay, here we go. Wilder did not look right. Watched the fight today again. First 2 rounds, he wasn't himself. He was pushing punches and his body language was off. After he was knocked down the third, it was just exacerbated what was already going on with him. I think we will find out in coming weeks something was up. If you get a chance, watch round 1, 2. You know what, Steve? You know the thing on that is, I think he landed his best shot in the first round, and I think something snapped in him. Like, this guy didn't go anywhere this time. Everybody goes away, and Tyson took a step back, and he fired back.
I think I'm not saying that there was nothing wrong with Wilder.
I'm not either. Who knows? I'm just saying.
But I think the way Fury came in too had a lot to do with it. He came in with a different style that caught Wilder off guard. Goodfellas says, unpopular opinions: Danny Garcia beat better fighters than Triple G. I think so.
Yeah, why not? Why?
I mean, if Triple G beat Canelo twice,
but he did,
and not have an argument, but still, even at that point,
I think he beat Canelo once.
Mm-hmm. But I think that fight with Danny Jacobs was a toss-up.
Yeah, why not? Fuck. I'm not gonna argue that. Jeff Ondash says Tyson's a freak. The big and that smooth. That big and that smooth. No shame in losing to him. That being said, Wilder only looked good for one punch in his last 14 rounds. So we always knew he was that.
Goodfellas says Burt Sugar always flipped on his pick. I remember when he said Juan Manuel Marquez was going to beat Floyd, and after Floyd beat him, Burt Sugar said Juan Manuel Marquez was too small.
The problem is, guys, the problem is with this sport, Kelly, and you know more than I do. These guys' egos won't allow them to be wrong. They won't allow it. How many times have we been to fights? I'm not going to put no names out there, but how many times have they talked their shit? These reporters, these media guys, some of these higher ups, right? They're around, not higher ups, but people that work in the thing. Oh, they got this fight on. Oh, Broner got this fight on lock. He's going to beat the shit out of, what was it? He's going to beat the shit out of Mikey Garcia. Yep. Mikey's one-dimensional. Fight was over. They're like, that's what I said all along. Broner just doesn't do enough. I'm like, are you serious, motherfucker? Did you just say that? Mm-hmm. Oh, what was it? Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's going to walk all over Lomachenko. Yep. Lomachenko is overrated.
He ain't used to this. He ain't used to that speed.
He ain't used to this big screen or this big stage. And what happened? He did a tap dance on his head. And they're like, oh, I said all along, Lomachenko might be the greatest we've ever seen. I'm like, are you serious, man? And you can see them erasing their shit. Like their computer, they're typing and they're backspacing their story.
Yep. Roger Mayweather and Tyson Fury would have been an awesome fit. No. Isaac Ramirez, I think he will have a couple of more fights than ride out. He did good bringing attention to the heavyweight division.
I did hear a cool rumor today. And it's probably pretty fact. Andy Ruiz has a new trainer.
Who that?
Canelo's trainer.
Oh.
Yeah. Andy Ruiz going to go work with Chepo.
And then JD Longa goes, although it's true that heavyweights age differently, the difference between Tyson or Ali at age 31 and 34 is still pretty obvious.
Ali was special, though.
Ali, he was. But he's saying that you can see the age difference from 31 and 34. But also...
Ali took 3 years off, too.
3 years, and he took some...
Murder. He fought some murder motherfuckers.
Brutal punches where he stayed on the ropes against guys like Shavers and...
Foreman.
Yeah.
You know what, though? He fought Ken Norton. Ali fought murderers back to back to back. He didn't fight guys like he didn't fight Trevor Berbick. He didn't fight Lonnie Green. He didn't fight these guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He fought murderers. Even though the B-level fighters, even the B-level fighters were guys that could have been.
But were they were they B-level fighters for that time?
B-level for that time.
Yeah.
But those guys were good. That was a strong weight class in those times,
Oh, absolutely. Well,
heavyweight was the premier weight class.
Well, they were big names, though, and a lot of us were too young to really be there to analyze
well, shit, I wasn't even born.
Yeah.
I was a glint. I was a glint in the man that raped my mother.
Yep.
I was a glint in the eye, the man that raped my mother at that time. Shit,
Yep.
What was that? Fucking, dude, I think that was like 17 years before I was even born. Fuck.
Young Yoda, nothing worse than Skip Bayless talking about boxing. Yeah, we went over that one. That's beating a dead horse over the head.
That's beating a horse dead. Skip Bayless, all
that's killing two rocks with one bird.
You know who I do like, though? I like Andre Ward. I like when he's boxing. I like Tim Bradley, and I like Paulie Malignaggi. Well, Paulie's my favorite, but Andre Ward I can get on board with. You know what the thing is? I think Tim Bradley has he sticks to the ESPN script. He does what he's supposed to do. He has to.
I think he does. I think he goes off a little bit, too.
But I like Andre Ward because he gives zero shits. He don't care.
Okay.
And I like obviously Paulie Malignaggi. You can't go wrong with when it comes to quality. Julian says, I was right next to Lewis, and I'm 6'4". He looked taller, but you've been around him more than I. I don't know. He's Julian, you were hunched over. You were hunched over because you were on the booze.
6'5" at most. Well, look at it this way. Vitaly Klitschko is 6'7". They say 6'8", he's 6'7".
Yeah.
And he was a good 2 inches, if not more, than Lennox Lewis.
He was big. Daniel O'Connor says, every time a fighter has a bad day at the office, you hear the excuse something was wrong.
No, not true.
You know what, though? Normally, I would say, okay, but a guy like Stephen Casper, this guy is a respected writer in the sport. He writes for ESPN. He writes for ESPN. He writes for all these big NBC. If he says something was wrong, I'd take Stephen Casper at his word any fucking day. Yeah. I'm not, because the guy he's legit.
Yep. Kelly and James, can you guys touch on Gilbert Ramirez's situation? Bob Arum is disappointed with Ramirez allowing people to get in his ear about boxing business.
Well,
Well, of course, Barbarian will probably be a little upset about that.
That's he put a lot of money into Gilbert Ramirez
Mhm.
to have cartel dudes in Mexico fucking in his ear, you know.
Yeah. I mean, again, that goes back to the fact that everybody thinks they know boxing, and when in fact, even the guys that are fighting, that are pro, don't really know the truth behind the scenes or what's going on.
No.
You know what I mean? So
There's so much.
anytime you may hear something or whatnot, only the people who know are the ones behind the scenes.
Yep, Dan Rafael, you're talking about, Julian. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Leo says, who should Fury fight next? You know who I'd like to see him fight? And I know you're gonna say small. Usyk. Why the fuck not? Give Usyk a couple fights. Give him another fight to get acclimated.
Because it's a dangerous fight right now.
But the thing is, Usyk's a great boxer too.
Go and fight a guy like Joshua and become undisputed again.
Josh, and then Usyk.
And win that. And I think that's an easier fight for him. And then go back to then fight a guy like Usyk.
I would love to see Usyk. I mean, why not?
By that time, Usyk might have one more fight at heavyweight, and people realize who he is. Maybe give him a named guy.
Yeah.
And then maybe let a guy like Usyk fight a guy like Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Right. I agree. I think Usyk would beat the fuck out of Andy Ruiz. But what's the report from the hospital about Wilder's injury? Has anything been said? No, I haven't heard nothing. Guadalupe, have you heard anything about Wilder's injury?
No, I haven't.
I have not heard anything.
Nathan says, I mean, one could look at the past two fights between Fury and Wilder, and you can make the assumption that out of 19 rounds, Wilder only won 4 rounds tops.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 3. It's a good point. I think Fury just has his number. Well, I don't know if it's his number. I mean, Ortiz was beating Wilder in 2 fights.
The guy just not a good boxer. He's not. It's not about having your number. He has the whole fucking lottery ticket. The guy can't box. And we've said before, if there's a guy with a chin, we said that how many episodes have we said this? All of them. If there's a guy that has a chin and that can box, he will be Wilder.
Yeah.
And we found that happening last night.
Soapbox that he didn't go to the hospital.
Donald Leary's watching. One of my favorite trainers ever. One of my favorite trainers ever. Donovan says Raul Marquez is the best. He needs more commentating. Yeah, he is. But Raul does a lot of Spanish stuff right now.
He does.
And so it's hard to get him to do.
I like Raul.
I like Raul too.
What up, made to last?
Alrit says, I quit doubting Tyson after seeing him in awful shape in Belfast, and then go on to bamboozle Wilder next. He is an anomaly at his absolute least now, at best now. I feel Fury could stop Wilder late, but never dreamed it would be this emphatic. Great insight as always, lads. Thank you, Al. I agree with you. I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little shocked. I had Wilder gonna knock him out between the 5th and 6th. I just thought that right hand would catch up to him.
I kept looking for it too. Even to that 7th round, I'm going like, well, first of all, when Fury dropped him and he couldn't get him out of that round, and the referee kind of took the good old time on that, I'm like, dude, that could have been it for Fury.
Yeah.
And then Wilder came back out, and then he just looked tired. He looked drained. Again, I know for a fact the way Fury fought him and the game plan worked, and it tired him out.
One of our favorites, Shannon Torres.
What up, Shannon?
She said, we all know fighters get hurt in camp, often continue to fight the fight because of contracts. Although it's unbelievable, he was hurt, it's undeniable he got whooped. Do you think any fighter at this level would risk a cancellation of a fight even if they were hurt?
That's a good one.
The paid outlies the loss. Didn't you do that? Didn't you fight with an injury? Because you didn't want to cancel the fight, right?
Yeah, you got people buy tickets. Then if there are situations before that may have happened, and then you go in and cancel that fight, now you really look bad. For instance, mine was Paul Williams, and those fights fell through. So if I would have backed out of the fight, I would have been blasted and destroyed.
What are you talking about, Kelly? You ducked Paul Williams to fight Bernard Hopkins. You ducked a welterweight to move up 2 weight classes. Yeah. Are you fucking serious now?
So, you know what? That's a great point, Shannon, because it is true.
Yeah.
You will take shit, and fighters don't want that either, especially depending on the fighter. Yeah. The smart ones don't give a shit what people say, and they'll make the right choices. Yeah. Some of us, we're more worried about the backlash we'll take, and we'll take the fight, especially like I had all the Youngstown people. They bought tickets.
They cussed you up and down. They had motherfucked you for years with
exactly. So, you suck it up and you get through it.
Donald, you're awesome, bro. Guadalupe says Wilder depends on his right hand too much. Remember that what Lewis said. You need more than a left hand and a haircut. He's right. He's absolutely right.
Scott made a good question.
What did he say?
He said, Champ, would you fire your coach if he threw in the towel in that fight? No.
Not for taking that kind of beating.
Listen, okay, so here's another good one. Usually, a fighter's got big egos, and they're not going to quit on a thing. And we got balls, and we are ballsy, and we can deal with pain. But when you have a broken eardrum and your jaw's all messed up, and you're getting beat like that, you're kind of deep down hoping that, hey, motherfucker, where's that towel at, dude? Hey, let him borrow your towel. Throw that son of a bitch in.
Justin's laughing because he knows that we all know that feeling.
Yeah,
Every one of us know that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Hey, did anybody in the stands got a fucking towel?
Did anybody just see me get clipped like this? Did anybody see me bleed?
Throw that shit down from the balcony. Whatever you got to do. No, I mean he was getting whipped. And again, going back on, I understand with Wilder's power, he has that one punch opportunity to change the fight. But at that point, though, I mean, how long are you going to let his brains get beat in?
Yeah, I don't think he had that. I think the power was gone. It was his legs were sapped. He wasn't going to generate that. Do you think he would have still generated that power?
Yeah.
Did you think so?
Because when you're 230 pounds, and you still got all that leverage, you hit the, and Fury coming in the way he was coming in, moving with his body. Yeah, that impact.
I can't ever say I hit like a bitch when I box, so I didn't have that kind of one punch knockout power. But
at what point do you let it keep going? And then when he dies, you go, oh, but he had that punch, though.
What time is it, Justin?
7:36.
Want to make a phone call?
Yeah, we could do that.
Hey, guys, stick with us real quick. We're going to call one of our good friends and former champion and title challenger, Diego Magdaleno. He just fought a big fight against Dulé, but he has some great insight on the Vargas and Mikey fight coming up, and also some cool shit talking about his last fight.
Yeah.
So I want to some like they say in Spanish, some chimoso. So we got to hear it. Let me call him up. I'm gonna call Diego. I'm gonna see what's going on with him. I'm calling Diego. So don't go nowhere. It's gonna be awesome. The fuck? Hold on, I can't call. My phone just. Are you serious? Look at my phone. Just blacked out.
What were the official scores at the time of the stoppage? Was it a draw? Well, that's a good question. Yeah, did it show it?
Dude, but I had every.
I bet you it was a draw. If you're going by last fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they had it a draw.
Diego.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my new iPhone 11 just took a crap for a second. I had to get you on there.
Hey, how you doing, Diego?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going good.
So.
Everything good?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
Nice.
Living the dream, champ. Living the dream.
That's right. That's the only way, man.
So, let's talk about your fight. You just fought Dulé. The most that guy had the most sportsmanship ever, I heard.
I was talking to my coach, and we didn't know whether it was Dooley or Dulé. I was like, look, come on, coach. The motherfucker thinks he's French. It has to be Dooley. He's from Nashville. Come on.
It's so he get free hurricanes when he goes to New Orleans. It's okay.
It's French for Dooley.
So I watched your fight. And I saw you pretty much easily pick him apart. I mean, you picked him apart. What the hell happened in the locker room for him to think that he was going to fight you not getting paid?
I have no idea what was going on. I went back there, mandatory go get checked up after the fight to the doctor. He's already in there because I stayed in the ring to do the interview. By the time I get there, he was pretty much wrapping it up. The doors fly open and he sees me, and the first thing he says was, "Man, I beat you." And I'm looking like, what the hell? He goes, "You know it too. You know I beat you. That was some bullshit." I was like, whoa. I took a step back and I looked at his father, and I was like, hey, from the beginning I had the utmost respect for you guys, but I just lost it right now. I'm like, Dad, from one father to another, this shit right here is unacceptable. I'm like, control that. So at that point, he grabbed his son by the chest because his son was trying to get in my face, and he pulled him back. By then, the commission was stepping in because they saw and they heard the commotion going on. But I'm like, this is foul right here. I'm like, I had nothing to do with this. I wasn't sitting ringside with pen and paper. I'm like, I was in the ring with you.
You scored the fight.
Yeah, exactly. He's coming at me. I'm like, there's 3 other judges that you need to talk to. I'm not one of them.
So right now you're what are you 30?
Getting into like a verbal conversation. I don't do that. I just throw blows, and I already got paid, so there's no reason for me to even throw another blow.
that check,
right?
That check was about to hit the direct deposit.
Yeah, no.
hit him 10 more times again, and then go take his check.
I mean, I know he's younger, you know what I mean, and he's losing it because he lost to what people are calling an old guy, you know what I mean, in front of his Nashville fans, who I believe I took every single one of his fans with me that night because I came out rocking out Nashville. I paid respect to them, you know what I mean? They loved it. They really did. They enjoyed it. They had nothing but good things to say to me after the fight.
So let me ask you this.
Walking out on the street, they're out giving me hugs, taking pictures. I had a real good time out there.
So let me ask you this. What are you 32-3, right?
Yes.
What the fuck did he think was going to happen? What made him think that you were going to be an easy fight?
A lot of smoke and air blowing up his ass, I believe, because he's young. You know what I mean? Everybody was kind of like babying him, and including his father. You know what I mean? At no point did his father give him some real directions in the ring. He's like, "Do it for Nashville. Do it for America. Do it for." No.
We were just talking about motivators.
Tell him to keep his hands up. Tell him to throw a goddamn jab.
Was it Teddy Atlas?
Like, give him some directions, not motivation. The kid needs to know what to do in there.
Well, we were just talking about that a few minutes ago about trainers that's never fought before, and they give great speeches and they give great motivation, but they don't know what the fuck
there's
they're
a
talking
dog
about.
with 3 paws. Get out there and go win this round.
It's the one in the middle.
You're a fireman. Put out that fire.
That only goes so far. I mean, it looks great in movies, but when you're in the corner, when you're really in the corner, and blows are getting thrown at your face, you need some real expert advice, not some motivational quote.
You know, you got 60 seconds. I know all I want to hear is what I need to fix. I don't want to hear what I'm doing wrong. Just tell me what to fix. You got 60 seconds. Just tell me to fix it.
Yeah, tell me how to quit getting hit.
Yeah, or tell me what my opponent's doing the most of.
Yeah.
What he does the most of is his weakness. You know what I mean?
We got some.
To backfire him. Once you figure that out, you found out his weakness.
Yeah, Diego, we got some guys here on right now on the YouTube, and they're just wanting to tell you congrats on the win. That you did a great job. So.
Also,
I appreciate that. I mean, ever since look. For me, it's been a wild, crazy ride. After that Teofimo fight, dude, everybody was just like, you know, throw him up, hang him up already, hang him up. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to myself, like, am I fucking that old? Am I really that done? Like, what did people say? Because they don't know one thing about me. I don't quit, ever. Yeah. In that fight alone, I kept getting up. I kept coming back from the dead. You know what I mean? Like, there's no stopping me.
Yeah. Well,
you can't even, not even for myself. So I'm like, everyone saw something else. I need to get in there and change everyone's opinion because that's not who I am.
Well, while you're here, then let me pick your brain about this. You got Teofimo and Lomachenko May 30th. What? How are you going with that fight? What do you think?
Loma is just his IQ is just way up there. He's too far advanced for anybody right now. I see him picking him apart. He's got the right movements, the right style, I mean, this guy is just a genius when it comes to boxing, and he does it so well. So I got Loma all the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, he gets in there and does things. He's got youth and on him. He's got, you know what I mean? He's got some good, very good qualities.
Yeah.
And I just think right now, Lomachenko is just, you know, he's a man to beat right now. He's that guy.
Yeah. My only take on that is. And I'm going to be like that little guy that picks the little shit. Lomachenko is getting a little older, though. And I think at that type of weight, at that weight class, and with those type fights, when you start losing, if it shows up, and it may not, Lomachenko may come out and look better than ever. But if you do lose a little bit of speed at that level with a guy like Teofimo, that could hurt you a little bit. But again, Loma does have the ring IQ. I agree with you. I'm definitely taking Loma in that fight.
I've seen him beat up a guy with one hand in the ring before because his hand was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to adapt. You know what I mean? That's the thing about him.
All right, I got a hard one for you.
Than anything.
I got a hard one for you, Diego. You got to come up this one. Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas next week.
Oh shit, that's too hard.
Yeah.
I know Jesse's one of your neighbors, isn't he?
I've been in the ring with both of those guys. You know, I
Yeah.
can say that. And even though it was a long time ago, but I've been in the ring with both of them. There's Mikey Garcia is just on a whole new level. You know what I mean? Look what he did with Spence. I give him a lot of credit for what he did with Spence. Spence is a stronger guy, way bigger guy, and he handles himself, and he took control of the ring. He didn't let Spence just walk all over him.
Yeah.
He's a master in there, you know, and to go take nothing from Jesse Vargas, but Jesse Vargas he's very limited, and he does the same thing. And the past, his weakness, what really turns him down is after the 5th round, you start to see him decline. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I said too. His activity level.
But like, take your ass for a run or do something.
I agree. I just think what's going to help him is his weight.
Conditioning is the first thing, man. If you're boxing 10, 12 rounds, you better be conditioned.
Yeah.
And especially if he's the guy he's not a knockout artist.
No.
So he's not relying on that. He's in for the long haul.
I agree, and that's what I said. I said the thing that hurts Jesse is his activity level. He doesn't have a big punch output, and you need that punch output to beat Mikey because he will beat your ass if he'll counter the shit out of you if you're not throwing something at him.
I mean,
He'll pick you apart.
Yeah, I love Jesse Vargas, but I do. But I think if it wasn't for his the size advantage that he has, I think that this would have been a little easier fight to pick for Mikey. But I think that could play a big role in helping him out in this fight. They're both great fighters, but yeah, I think Mikey's skill level is fantastic. So
what?
Yeah.
So what do we got next for you, Diego? What are you looking for next? Because I know you're in the talk with the contenders and things like that. I know that you have another title shot in you.
Pretty much right after the fight, I get out of the ring and I went to Sam Watson was sitting there. He looked at me and he goes, "Hey man," threw his arms open. It was like, "Welcome to the family." Just got off the phone with Al Heyman. He was depressed. Welcome to the family. So that right there says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm with the PBC guys now. I'm on their team. I'm looking forward to it because everyone from the beginning, when I stepped foot into Nashville, they treated me with the utmost respect. You know what I mean? Like I definitely didn't feel like I was in the blue or in the red corner on the B side. You know, and they filmed me. I fought many of their fighters in the amateurs. I mean, I didn't even know it, but Rashid Warren was on the card. You know what I mean? I fought him in the amateurs.
Shit, Rashid's been.
Him in the amateurs.
I think Rashid's been fighting since the 1980 Olympics, hasn't he? He's been in all of them.
Yeah,
he's been all the Olympics.
He's been around forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no.
3 Olympics in a row.
It feels really good to be to have like another door open for me. Because it's been one hell of a ride. Boxing's been one hell of a ride for me. I've seen it all, and I think that's what helps me. I've been the ups and downs, the highlights, everything. I've seen it all, so I only learn from it. That's the best part about it. I learn from it, and I move forward.
Well, I want to tell you though, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your team, Shannon, everybody else, the support you guys give us too, and it means so much to me. And I'm sure.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on.
I give a lot of credit to Shannon because, Bones, my team was in Anaheim with Blair Cobb.
Yeah.
You know, so fight week, it was just me and her the whole ride through. And let me tell you, it was just a breeze this time. You know, this time I followed her directions to the T, and it was a breeze right through. So every time we worked together 4 training camps.
Good.
And by far, this was the best one. This one, she says, "Look, if I don't quit at least 3 times, and the week of training camp, then I'm not doing my job." But I mean, I have to give it to her because she's very professional at her work.
Yep.
She takes it serious. She's been in the ring.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So she knows the severity of what could happen in there if you take a shot when you're dehydrated or if you're not, at your best. the repercussions. We lost 6 guys, a total of 6 guys that we know of, that I know of, that I can count off the top of my head, last year.
Yeah.
So that alone is just crazy. We have to get these guys in the ring, functioning properly, healthy.
Well, you have somebody that's been in the ring.
And she cares.
Yeah, she knows the struggle of being a fighter herself, so that makes a big difference.
Right. It does make a difference. So and she cares.
Yep.
So I think that's the best part. So I'm blessed to have her. As soon as both touched down in Nashville, she was like, "Here, I'm giving you the torch. He's all yours now."
Yep.
So
that's awesome.
It just worked. This training camp worked so well, and I'm looking forward to starting a whole new training camp because not only Brandon Christopher, that's Blair Cobb's main coach.
Yeah.
He was on board pretty much the whole training camp. This is the first time I met him, but I'm like, hey man, this training camp went so well. I need to adopt you full time for this next one. So I have both you guys there for the rest of my training camps from start to finish. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a full training camp now. If you guys thought that was impressive, then this next fight, I'm gonna blow everyone's mind away.
Oh, we know you will. And hey, I want to thank you for coming on, Diego. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for coming on.
You guys already know, Kelly. Hey, James. Anytime you guys need me, I'm always there. I'm 100%.
Awesome.
Don't be telling us that. You'll be on here every week.
Yeah.
It'll be the punchline with Diego and Kelly and maybe me in the back.
And Justine.
No, and shout out to all the fans, man. I know when you win, all the fans come out, but it was a good, fresh reminder of the bright side of boxing. You know what I mean? I've been in a dark hole. No one really knows it, but I've been battling depression, and it wasn't until me and Shannon got into a real deep talk where she goes, "Look, unless you admit it and tell yourself, you're not going to get out of that hole."
Yeah.
She goes, "You own up to it," and I'm like, "Fuck, man, but I'm a fighter. It's hard for me to be like, oh, take the like, what do you call that? Like the soft side.
Yeah.
Easy road.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's hard for me to even say it, but once I did, man, everything changed.
Well, that takes more courage admitting that than anything.
It does. It really does. It took a lot of balls for me to even say it, admit to it. But since then, it's been great.
Well, that's awesome, man. We're glad that everything's turning out good for you, and God bless, man. You deserve it. You're a solid dude, great fighter, and
hit us up whenever you want. You got my number, and I'll give you Kelly's too.
No, you put it out there, man. I will be giving you guys a call here and there because everything that I've been through with boxing inside the ring and both outside the ring. I've been coming across some weird, shady people, and it's like, dude, I just need like some good people around me. I thought I had them, and then you realize who they are. It's like, wow, I was mistaken. I was fooled. You feel kind of betrayed.
Whenever you want to sit down and
I almost want to run back in that hole and not talk to anybody.
Yeah, whenever you want to sit down and go over some of them stories, boy, we'll be there all night. So.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. Yeah.
All right, and it was great talking to you, Diego. Give me a call. Give us a call anytime you want.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, my man.
Right on.
Bye.
That was cool.
That was cool. That's Diego Magdaleno, guys. He just fought a big fight, and
we get some cool people that. Hey, guys, listen. Sorry about that, but we don't really accept phone calls. Only every once in a while we do. And remember the big red speaker we had?
Yeah.
Well, that one got lost or put somewhere right now.
I know where it's at.
Oh yeah, you do.
Didn't know you guys needed
Yeah, we didn't know we had a call-in guy tonight, so we still have that too. But we're not really set up for that because we usually lose listeners when
we lose about 20 of them. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know what?
If we get a guy on like Diego or Crawford and guys like that, and
it's fucking.
Yep.
You know what? If some of these fans, like, I'm not saying you guys, the ones that are here, but if some of you guys stuck around, you would learn something.
Yep.
There's things that I'm sure I think I know everything about boxing. I pretend I do. I don't.
I know I do.
Kelly does. But there's things that these guys could teach you that come on here or insider shit that you won't get from anywhere else, you know? A lot of these other shows out there, they don't give you the fighters like that. You're not getting access to fighters and what's going on in their camps. This guy just has, had some titles. He's fought for a world title. He just fought Teofimo. He's been in the ring with Mikey and Vargas. He knows what's going on with these guys. You're not going to find that anywhere else. So, let's talk about Navarrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad mofo.
Yeah.
I got him. Yeah, he's easily sneaking his way into the top 5, and it's hard not to. He's beating the shit out of everybody. He's beating the shit out of them. I mean, it's not even. He reminds me of me in 2007, to be honest with you, but better. I mean, what I mean by that is he's taking top guys out. He's a force to be reckoned with, man.
Let me ask you this, Kelly. Do you see any weaknesses in Navarrete? If you were training him, what would you want to change on him? Anything?
No.
That's the thing.
No.
You know what I did notice though? He added boxing to his arsenal. Like he's always boxed, but he's always been more of a he'd throw 110 punches around, right?
Yep.
Last night he's throwing 48, 50 punches, but all of them are fucking solid.
Which shows you that if he has to get back into a dogfight, you're screwed. You know, he's a phenomenal fighter.
That shows me he has a plan B and C and D because he can change.
Usually those rugged, rough-nosed fighters do great, and then when they get in there with somebody who can really fight, they get beat. But I think Navarrete's on a different.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard with a guy like that to go in there and do that to him. You might be able to do it for 4 rounds, but I think after that.
Well, you know they've been talking about Inoue Navarrete sometime this year. What do you think?
I think he's too much for Inoue.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. That's one pick I couldn't give. I don't know. I think Inoue is amazing, but I think Inoue may have reached his
a weight class
physical potential against a guy that big.
That's what I'm saying. A weight class down, and if Navarrete was a little smaller, then I would say, you know what, that's a hell of a fight. But I just think Navarrete's too big.
Yeah. I agree. Judah says, "Love Fury. He's the best." Fury's awesome, guys.
How about that serenade?
You're going to come into the fact. I mean, he could box.
Did he do O'Mandy before too? And now he did.
He did.
American Pie last night.
I called it last night too. I told a couple people that had never really seen him fight before.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the biggest show is after the fight. You know, because everybody was getting ready to leave when they were going to announce the winner. You might want to stick around. The show's only beginning.
Darren said, "Is Loma Teofimo happening in Madison?" Yes, it is, Darren. It's happening at Madison Square Garden May 30th.
Yep, we got to hurry up and get a hold of Lee Samuels.
That's too early, isn't it?
Let him know now.
Lee.
That's going to be a hot fight. I wonder if they're going to have that in a small...
that's a giant. I bet you that's the main arena.
I'm thinking the main arena,
dude,
too.
Teofimo is from New York, too. That's huge, you know?
Yeah.
He's from Brooklyn, so... No, back to Navarrete, though. I was impressed. I thought maybe he was this come straight ahead guy who was a great technician who threw 110 punches around. That's hard to overcome. Who could crack?
Yeah.
But then last night he shortens his punches. He's only half the power, and he's throwing technically fucking good. I'm like, and what, landing at 43%?
Yeah.
Now, Kelly, you fought pro. How hard is it to land 43% of your shots?
43%?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Is it?
What did you depending
average?
on who you're fighting and the caliber of guy you're fighting.
What did you average normally?
I don't know. I never paid.
You don't give a fuck about your stats, do you?
No, I don't.
Kelly just counts zeros.
Yeah, W and L's.
WLs and zeros. Yep. Hello, guys. Love the show. Thank you, Jesus.
Kevin
Jude?
Kennedy said, "Hell yes, Navarrete. Great performance. Do you think Navarrete will dominate a weight class up?"
I think so. I think he can do 26.
He could. Yeah.
He's big. He's fucking big.
He is.
5'9".
But you just got to remember, every time you go up a weight class, it gets a little harder. Though.
It does.
But I think he could.
But 26 is a tough weight class too.
Mm.
But you have guys there like Jojo Diaz still, or Jojo moved up. But you have Gary Russell there. You have Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
You have some of these other guys.
And Gary Russell's a guy though, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, but you're talking a guy a little bigger than Navarrete used to face, and that could be a tough one. But with Navarrete's style,
he could fuck somebody up.
See, here's the reason why I really stayed with Gary Russell.
I know you did.
Gary Russell also is in great condition.
Yeah, he is.
Gary Russell is not the flashy fighter who tires after 4 rounds. Gary Russell carries that same energy into the later rounds too, which is hard to beat somebody like that. JoJo showed that when they fought Gary Russell, and he went to the body on Gary Russell. He hit Gary Russell where I was pissing blood from watching it. And Gary Russell never tired. It didn't faze him, and he only got stronger as the fight went on. That's why it's hard for me to go against a guy like Gary Russell with phenomenal hand speed, boxing, and don't tire. He didn't tire against Loma.
You know who else don't do that?
Who?
Leo Santa Cruz.
I know.
Leo doesn't tire and is phenomenal.
But
condition.
Leo's biggest, you fucking, I know you're gonna throw that in somewhere. But Leo's biggest strong point is tiring people out.
That's true, but you still have to have an answer for 120 punches around.
Well,
That can crack. 120, 60 of them are power shots.
Yeah, well, when you got 25 fucking lightning bolts striking at you too, it slows you down punching a little bit.
But when the 25 aren't infecting you, because you got a chin of a fucking granite, you got a rock that's
I mean, it
dropped.
still don't fucking hurt getting hit in the snizzle and shit like that.
I don't know, man. Me and you are gonna sit down and watch
We'll
this fight
never
together.
know.
We're gonna know. It's gonna happen. Dalton Ross is on here.
What's up, Dalton?
Dalton, Bellator fighter, man. Coming up big. He'll probably be in the UFC quick.
Yep.
You're working with him a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah, he's looking good, man.
I heard he has some natural boxing ability. He might want to change sports.
He's looking good.
If AJ beats Fury, you have to shave your head, Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Shit, why? You had so much hair.
You know what? I was, you know, I really wanted to do one time.
Yeah.
Before I retired.
Yeah.
Was grow my hair out on the side. And when they mention my name, lick my glove thumb and do my comb over. But you know what I mean, Kelly. And I go like this and go. But my hair grows too curly.
I can answer that, but I'll let Kelly.
I get an afro puff on the side.
Shannon says, body shot or chin? What hurts worse? I would rather take it to the chin.
Yes, yeah.
Just
Body
like
shot.
porn stars, they'd rather take it to the chin.
I'd rather take it to the snout.
Like a porn star.
Yeah, and get hit in the nose where you can't see and your eyes are watering than a good body shot.
A body shot will. You know what's sad about a body shot? It
Body
hits
shot.
you. You're like when you get hit with a good body shot. You're like a town drunk. You know you're fucked up and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? You're kind of stumbling. You're breathing hard, and your brain's working. Your brain's working, but your legs, nothing else is working.
That's
You can't breathe.
yeah.
Well, who hit you with the
horrible.
Who hit you with the worst body shot you've been hit with?
Jermaine Taylor in the amateurs in the Olympic trials.
What happened?
I got hit with the body shot and tried. I played it off pretty good,
Yeah.
and I went back to the corner and Jack's like, of course, you know, what the fuck you doing in there? I'm like, oh no, couldn't fucking talk to him, and he realized when I tried talking to him, I couldn't.
Yeah.
What happened? You know what I was doing? Yeah, he hit me, and I felt my fucking spleen bounce off my anus.
How long did it take you to recover?
2 months. I had to go to the fucking gastroenterologist or whatever you call them and make sure everything was in place. They found out that actually everything was good. Besides, my spleen was up in my chest a little bit. They said my right rib was over in my pelvis.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that narrator? At this moment, Kelly knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
You know
Well, you know what
that,
though?
Justin?
I came back out the rest of that fight and I made it I lost, and I could admit to that. He outpointed me, but it was a damn good fight.
Yeah, Kelly's Olympic dream, landed with that body, ended with that body shot. You were an alternate still, though.
Yeah.
You see, people don't know that.
No, I don't know how that. I came in third.
Oh, well, you were a second alternate.
Yeah.
You were still an alternate.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Donald's on here. There's the Donald man. But LOL. But at this moment, Kelly knew he fucked up.
Yeah, well,
You know, I got
shots that took it out of him.
I got
He took
hit.
some body shots. He took 280 pounds of dead weight on him too.
Dude, I got hit with a body shot by. I don't know if people remember who Panchito Bojado was. Anybody?
Oh, yeah, I know.
That motherfucker hit me with a body shot at the Pomona Fairgrounds one time,
Yeah.
and my teeth even clicked. Like my mouthpiece lit. Like,
He was about my age, maybe a year older than me, wasn't
yeah, a year older.
he?
He nailed me, man.
Oh, Fat Lazy.
Dude, that was the worst beating I ever took.
Okay, Fat Lazy. I'm going to answer this, and we got to start wrapping up.
All right, what time is
But
it?
8:03.
Okay.
But Fat Lazy says, who wins at 160, Charlo or Jermaine Taylor in his prime?
Jermaine
Taylor
walked right through him.
easily. Let's not forget, besides the fact because I smacked him out in 7, he fought. He beat Hopkins twice. Controversial or not, I mean it was good fights. He was beating the living shit out of Carl Froch up until the last round when he got stopped, and he was beating Arthur Abraham all the way up. I mean, well ahead on the scorecard until he got stopped in the 12th round. So Jermaine Taylor was a bad dude.
We have 3 questions. We have to hit these. Dalton asks, "What do you think about Fury versus AJ James?" You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say AJ beats Fury, guys. I don't know, Dalton. I'm gonna go with AJ in that fight.
I just feel some real dislike for.
I like Fury. What are you talking?
Don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you do not.
I picked Fury in the first fight.
Where in the hell do you get that AJ?
I just think AJ's gonna beat him. I don't know. I have a feeling. Look,
Okay.
I'm wrong all the fucking time. I just like.
Yeah.
Okay. Sergio says this is how you can help. This is you, Kelly. How do rankings work? Is Wilder considered 2 or Joshua? How do rankings work? It's whatever sanctioning body pays the most.
Yeah, I mean, where do you rank them? Are you talking about overall, like how the ring has their rankings, or are you talking about each sanctioning
the weight
body?
class, right? Yeah, sanctioning body.
Because sanctioning body, I mean, each one's going to have them different. If you're asking me my personal opinion, where I got Wilder at right now,
Yeah.
he's at 2.
Dalton says yes. He agrees. See, Dalton agrees with me. I think
Everybody
AJ.
on YouTube thinks you're nuts.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I think AJ will beat Fury.
Read down the comments. Ricky's
Young-
no, Jay.
No. Well, Young Yoda goes, I got AJ too.
Dude, step away from the light.
Kevin Kennedy says AJ has a great jab and we'll use it. I don't see it.
AJ's big too.
But
But Shannon says back on Mikey Vargas. I need to place a bet. What round and who wins? Mikey, 12-round decision.
yeah, I don't think Jesse Vargas could take a shot.
He can take a shot. AJ was getting outboxed by slow quits. Klitschko was slow. Klitschko was technically
Well, he was
amazing.
older though.
And he was older, 37 years old.
And he
Come on,
also
man.
had a hard time. What was his name? Parker. He looked shitty against Parker.
Yep, he did.
AJ.
Yeah.
Boring fight.
And Fury looked
He got smacked around by a 6'1" Andy Ruiz.
like shit his last fight too.
He did.
And he looked shit. He looked like shit.
But he looked good.
But you can have a bad night. You can. But Wilder. Hey, AJ sure looked good the fucking last fight though, didn't he?
What are we gonna put on this one if they fight?
I don't know.
I'm gonna put your house on it.
Don't put my house.
Yes,
You
I
want
am.
to you want to get money back. You want to get some. Let me see.
Nah.
I have him too. Wilder. Caleb's is the ghost watching, and he got your name. I don't know though. Slow and should. I don't know.
Kevin Kennedy says Klitschko will work with AJ for a Fury fight. Yeah, well, what's that? I understand, Kevin, but you think one training camp is going to make a difference? We go over that all the time.
AJ's still a formidable fighter. He's a good fighter.
He is, and I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy walk in the park.
You know what?
Fury, and
That fight's going to be boring as fuck.
Yeah, and
That
smack.
fight, it's a boxing match between both of them. It's going to be a boring fucking fight.
And Fury might come in at 285 and say, you know what? Guess what I'm going to do?
I'm going to lean all over your
I'm
fucking
gonna
ass.
belly flop you all over this corners. Yep.
But I don't know. I just have a feeling it'd be AJ. I don't know. I'm probably
I don't
wrong.
think AJ, with his muscle fatigue and how tired
He didn't have it
gets-
last time. He cut that weight. Didn't have muscle fatigue.
Yeah, but when you have the 270-pound guy on you,
Yeah.
that's another thing that I got to take into consideration. Though you're right, I forgot about that. If AJ comes in like that again, that makes a big difference. Because
came
AJ
at
can box,
235.
and I'm not taking that away from
220.
AJ. The biggest reason why I always didn't think he was going to win is because I always thought AJ had a hard time getting past 4 or 5 rounds because of the muscle fatigue. But you're right about that. He is losing that, but I still got Fury in that
Yeah.
fight.
I can't argue. Look, I have no real argument. Like, I have no argument for Fury winning. I can't say, well, AJ is going to win because I don't. It's just a feeling. It's not like I don't even have a valid argument. You know what I mean?
Fat Lazy goes, Ghost, what threat would Charlo pose for you at 160 in your prime, or would you walk through him?
Who?
The only threat that I would have is probably after the fight in the hotel lobby with him and his buddies, but other than that, nothing.
Who's that?
Charlo at 160 if I would have
We've
fought him.
already we've been around the Charlos a few times in their environment.
Yeah, I would not have.
No
I would have no issues.
There's no issue.
Ricky seems to think Fury will come in later versus AJ.
I wouldn't doubt it. Ricky's probably 100% right. You know,
Canelo versus Ruiz, who wins?
which Ruiz?
That's what I'm asking.
I think we're a few weight classes apart on that.
I mean, you can't. You it's not out of question for him to beat Andy Ruiz.
They're fucking teammates now,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Canelo could fight.
Yeah. You know, I'm hearing that Andy Ruiz is being trained by Canelo's trainers now. So
And
why
I can
not?
guarantee you, if Canelo beat Andy Ruiz, that Andy Ruiz was washed up from the Joshua fight, and he was no good, and anybody could go up to heavyweight and beat Andy Ruiz.
It says Fury is 6'9". He can come in 300 pounds and not be fat. No, let's not get crazy.
He's not fat. He's just
fat.
sloppy.
He's fat.
He's sloppy. He's got back fat.
He's fat. Let's not call it. Let's not call it what it really is.
His legs are skinny. His arms are skinny. He has
Dude,
back fat.
Fear,
Lower back. Love handles.
People act like Fury came in there like a fucking greyhound last night, like he was a whippet running a track. You know what I mean? He wasn't. He's a big motherfucker.
Them are love flaps. Mud flaps.
But hey, Kelly, as always, it was a great show.
It was.
Most awesome show. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in today.
Yeah, tune in. Go to YouTube. Even if you watch it on Facebook and whatnot, go to YouTube and subscribe, like, share.
Yes. And hey, guys, thank you for all the donations, and thank you for the silent auction. The headgear went and the gloves went. Stephen Casper got the gloves, and Pablo got from Utah. He got the headgear with Kelly autograph.
That's right. Did you get the picture too with me?
He did.
Yeah. That's
cool. But you guys missed out. It was a Mexican, Everlast Mexican headgear, brand new, signed by Kelly.
It's pretty sweet.
Pretty fucking sweet. But yeah, great show. Tune in, share, like, and hit that little bing-a-ling thing, that little bell icon, let you know when the shows are. Next week, next week? Before we go, we're not doing a show here.
No, pre-fight.
We're doing pre-fight from Dallas, Texas, guys. For what?
Mikey
and Bart.
Jesse.
Yep, we're going to be there, guys. So we're going to do a pre-show. We might get some interviews with some big-time fighters and trainers there, right?
We'll see.
We'll maybe get Robert in there. I think we get Robert in.
No, we'll see.
We'll get Robert maybe.
No, we'll get Robert in there.
We'll get Robert in. All right, guys. Have a great week. We will see you in Dallas on what day? Friday?
You want to do Friday or Saturday before the fight?
We can do Saturday.
You think?
Do both.
Yeah, maybe we should do both because some people on Saturdays are too worried about pre-fight having fun or on their way to somebody's house.
Well, Friday is when we can do the interviews with all the athletes and walk around and talk to them.
No, I'm not doing it on Fridays because them guys want to go eat and shit, man. I'm not going to bother them on that. I used to hate that.
Robert doesn't have to eat.
Well, we can get the trainers
That's
and
what I'm
stuff.
talking
Yeah,
about.
we're not going to grab the
fighters. No,
okay.
We can do that Saturday. But all right, hey guys, we're gonna do a show Friday and Saturday, so keep up with us, and we'll tune in from Dallas.